Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question reality.
Well, gravity is a wave. There are many different theories about wave included. It's been theorized that gravity is also particles, gravitons, which is also incorrect. But gravity is a wave. The basic wave, they can actually tap off of an element. Why that is, I'm not exactly sure.
And so you can produce your own gravity. What does that mean? What does that allow you to do?
Well, that allows you to do virtually anything. Gravity distorts time and space. By doing that, now you're into a different mode of travel, where instead of traveling in a linear method going from point A to B, now you can distort time and space to where you essentially bring the mountain to Mohammed. You almost bring your destination to you without moving. And since you're distorting time, all this takes place in between moments of time. It's such a far-fetched concept. When you are distorting time, there's no longer a normal reference of time. And that's what producing your own gravity does.
You can go forward or backward in time? Is that what you're saying?
No, not essentially. It'd be easier with a model. On the bottom side of the disk are the three gravity generators. When they want to travel to a distant point, the disk turns on its side. The three gravity generators produce a gravitational beam. What they do is they converge the three gravity generators onto a point and use that as a focal point. Then they essentially bring them up to power and pull that point towards the disk. The disk itself will attach onto that point and snap back as they release space back to that point. Now, all this happens in the distortion of time, so time is not incrementing, so the speed is essentially infinite.
We'll get into the disks in a moment, but the first time you saw the antimatter reactor in operation or demonstration, you had a couple of demonstrations. Tell me about that.
The first time I saw it in operation, they just put a friend I worked with, Barry, put the fuel in the reactor, put the lid on, as was shown there. Immediately a gravitational field developed, and he said, feel it. And it felt like you bring two like poles of a magnet together, except you can do that with your hand. And it was fascinating because that's impossible, except, on something with great mass. And obviously this is just and it was a repulsion field. In fact, we kind of fooled around with it for a little while, and we threw golf balls off it, and it was just a really unique thing.
And they had some other sort of demonstrations to show you that this is pretty wild stuff, right?
Yeah, they did. They were able to channel the field off in a demonstration booth. They created an intense gravitational area, and you began to see a small little black disk form, and that was the bending of the light.
Just like a black hole floating around.
A black hole is a bad analogy, but yeah, essentially.
And time, they gave you some kind of demonstration about time involving a candle. Explain how that worked.
Yeah, they took a candle and lit it and put it in the distorted gravitational field, which distorts time, and the candle just stood there. It didn't melt or burn. It was, it was really unbelievable.
There ain't nobody else out here at this park but me and my son. Brought him out here to play. I'm over there on the swing, and I look over here.
Oh, no.
Y'all. I think it's time for Prince. Come on, baby. We're about to go.
Okay, what are we looking at? That's supposedly the moon? Wait a minute.
What is that?
Yo. Look like it's moving now.
Why does the camera move?
What? What did we just see? Yo, it looked like the moon at first, but it wasn't.
They going somewhere.
Yo.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of birds. That's a lot of birds. Yo. I'm about to fly where they going. Yo, maybe we should follow the birds. Maybe they trying to go somewhere safe.
What people don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to, like, you know, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River, they say that people go on their balcony, they're drinking coffee, they're talking on the phone, and they'll see a little flying saucer go by. And I know for a fact that in 1976,
Little one?
whatever the fuck they are, I know for a fact that in 1975 and 1976, you could check me out on this, a UFO landed in Hudson County Park. I was a kid, and the next day the feds locked off the park. They had yellow tape, they had samples. Go look it up, dog. There's a UFO. You see that's called, North Bergen is where I'm from. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it's a circular building. So they did so much coke in there in the 80s, they called it the grinder. That's what they called it, because it was shaped like the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge. I have a couple friends that lived there. People that lived in that building have seen UFOs for fucking years. And if you go to YouTube, there's an actual North Hudson Park UFO. Wow. They dug up, they came out, there's a liquor store. And the liquor store guy says he's seen the lights. You heard like the organ music that they play. They landed. A couple Martians got out and took samples and got back in the thing and took off. There's a YouTube thing. There's a History Channel special about it. And I still remember being a young kid.
Did you find anything, Jamie?
That was what's popping up, all that stuff about that building and.
Oh yeah, no.
Is there anything that says a UFO landed?
That's the story I'm reading right now. Is what he's saying. Yeah.
And witnesses. You know, it's not just one guy that says, "I know UFO." It's people who got knocked on the door and said, "Did you see anything at 11, 10 at night?" And they said, "You know what? There were lights flashing outside." They contacted police departments to see if there was any. They went full. Then the FBI came in, circled the park. It was by the Little League field in Hudson County. But it is, like you'd think it was Area 51. You'd think it was close to northern Las Vegas. The #1 place to see UFOs is northern New Jersey. They even made a reference to it in The Sopranos. When he said something, he goes, "What are you talking about? Last week you said you seen a UFO in Hackensack." Because that's where they're at. Hackensack, Moonachie. Right. All those. You go to Moonachie, New Jersey. A lot of ugly people. A lot of people with big heads. The only good thing in Moonachie, New Jersey is fucking Segovia, Spanish restaurant. It's been there since 19 fucking Schlemensky. I don't know.
Yo. So they've been seeing UFOs in New Jersey. So what if the drones that we're seeing in New Jersey are just like a distraction so that we don't really see the UFOs, or when we do see UFOs, we mistake them as drones?
You see, everyone's talking about these drones, and here's something that nobody wants to talk about. You see, these are drones. They're United States military drones. But the question is not about the drones. Everyone's focusing on this, and they keep using this word in media. The question is what they're looking for, and I'm about to tell you. What they're looking for is these plasmoids, okay? These are living things. These are the fourth state of matter. But they call them plasmoids, and the Bible calls them angels. You see, this entire chapter in Ezekiel chapter 10 tells you what these plasmoids are. They're thorns angels. They are angels warning us about the end times. The end is here. I don't care what anyone says. The media is not going to tell you this. Repent and get back to Jesus Christ, because that's the only way that you're going to have a possibility of being safe. Don't let the media scare you. Turn to Jesus. Follow me, the Black Rebel, for more.
Y'all think they're angels?
Yeah, that's it right there. Hold on, let me go get it.
Orbs ejecting orbs, huh? Oh, snap.
It's not a whistle now. Oh my God, there's more coming. Look at this. What is it? Planes don't look that color. Look
at that. Oh, interesting. I wonder what kind of drone that is. Look familiar? Yeah, it's because fucking Count Dooku shit, bro. This is Count Dooku.
Some stuff straight out of a game.
So this guy's out fishing on a kayak. What is that? Something huge just came off of the bank here. But what is it? Can you see it? It's like right there.
I do see
Hold on.
something. Oh,
there it is.
that's a
You see
mermaid.
it? What is that? Is it an alligator? Is that an
Nah,
alligator?
ain't no gator.
It's gone now. Is saltwater? I think it's, yeah, we're in saltwater here. Let's see if we can come off. He's right there. Was it a fish? Oh, right there. I mean, it was big. Whatever it was big. And it's coming off. It's like this giant dark shadow. It might be I think it's like an alligator. But if we're in saltwater, would it be a crocodile? Can alligators live in saltwater? This could be, I think it's a saltwater crocodile. It was huge. Yep, there it is. All the way over there. What would you do if you're sitting in your kayak and you scare a saltwater crocodile off? Because I think they're more aggressive than like an alligator. But it's big. I mean, you don't know what it is at this point when it first comes off. But if you watch this far, hit the follow button. I do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day and a great week.
Saltwater crocodile or mermaid? Let me know.
You're saying that NASA figured out that we're actually living in these sort of civilizational cycles that we really have no control over. They're kind of these hard resets.
Exactly.
So they say NASA figured it out, huh? Nah, NASA just been watching these videos. NASA be on TikTok too. Like, you know what? They're finally starting to realize it. Okay, we got to say we discovered it.
Maybe we're headed towards one right now.
And in order
they're
to
hiding it.
And in order to cover it up, they blocked all knowledge of the binary star companion so that that whole cycle would not be understood.
That's insane.
Is it though?
I don't know. I mean, I need to.
If there was an asteroid,
details,
and I'm not saying this in an apocalyptic way, because I would actually. The next part of this is we should talk about how I believe we may be able to prevent that.
Okay.
But what I mean is, if governments knew about a giant asteroid coming towards the Earth or a comet, would they tell everybody?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Widespread panic.
Sure.
Complete society collapsing.
And you're of the opinion that this dead star is headed towards the sun now.
Yes.
And so, do you have, based on your
cycles of what we see in ice cores throughout Antarctica and Greenland of a consistency?
And what's your model of how much time we have left based on that?
We're right in it right now.
So,
very interesting how consciousness seems to rise at the same time that the sun starts to emit more energy. And this gets into, again, lost civilizations, what they knew.
What is your take on what we've been seeing pop up over New Jersey?
First, I agree with the sentiment that if people cannot identify what they are, you're in no position to say whether they are or are not a threat. So I don't get what it means when they say, oh, don't worry about it. We don't know what it is, but don't worry about it.
And then? Yo. That's probably one of the only times I'll ever agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson. How are you going to say, we don't know what it is, but it's not a threat, don't worry about it. We don't even know what it is, but, I mean, shouldn't be worried,
This large granite box has tube drills. You see the little tube drill holes there? Again, you're talking at least diamond tip technology. And once again, more hollow tube drills. Diamond tool technology was not invented, as far as we know, until the 19th century AD.
It's something about this party, y'all. As I look around, and I'm looking at this party, and I'm looking at the people, I said, hold on, who this motherfucking little boy?
Right. That's the first thing I was just saying. That's crazy.
You dazed out. Do you know Britney Spears? She just announced that her 5-year-old altar is up and she's going to kindergarten. That wasn't a lie. Her 5-year-old altar is up. And she probably took the phone from the caretaker. All in the same body. And she just told y'all, I'm 5. I'm not 43. I'm 5. She wasn't lying to you. You just don't know what she's saying. Everybody yelling, save Britney. Do you know why? There's many different Britneys. Even the clone. Okay, so
It's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old, and I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow.
That's the clone Britney. What is this?
What is it?
Smokehouse Islands.
God, it's an American spaceship.
Can't be an American spaceship. It's 300 years old. There weren't even Americans, let alone spaceships.
Well, it can't be, but it is.
Okay. Let's see if there's some kind of flight recorder or data computer.
Yo, they letting you know right there. History ain't what we think it is. We've been here a lot longer.
Information they're going to give me as they come forward, because they've gone to ground now. They're only communicating with me. I'm going to hand off to every celebrity and every media outlet and every influencer I know. And I need you guys to do the same thing. And it'll be open source. It'll be on a site that is blockchain protected, that's now stood up. And it's got to be seen by several billion people within a few days. So that means it's got to go wide. We're not talking about ufology and a handful of UFO nuts knowing about this. And the reason for it is that this summer he came to my place in Washington and he says, we don't want to risk our lives and our families' lives. And the main guy has 3 children, 2 of them are still fairly young. And he doesn't want to have his whole family killed for no good reason. In other words, where this gets released and it's a tree that fell in the woods nobody heard. So I said, let me put together this asymmetric disclosure where regardless of what the bureaucrats in Washington do, or London, or anywhere else, it's seen by a large number of people. It's like what I've always said, you squeeze the toothpaste so hard out of the tube, it cannot be put back in. But listen, everyone listening, if you're an influencer, if you've got a YouTube channel, Facebook, TikTok, X, we're going to have it on a site where you can download it and put it everywhere. So this has got to go viral, and it's got to go hard. Now, I don't have a date. All I'm told is between now and early January, but we're going to need your help. This cannot be scrubbed and erased by the corrupt mainstream media. It's got to go everywhere.
Okay. Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
It's like fasting, right? So it's really more about removing things than it is, we think it is adding, add-ons. Yeah, you can remove things and add healthier repetitions, you feel me? Yeah, that's cool. But know that the less is where it's at.
Uh-oh, look, she possessed. Something was up with her there.
What the hell is going on this planet? According to NASA, an underwater volcano nicknamed Sharkano erupted yesterday and released mutant sharks. Now, mind you, these sharks have been surviving. Let me say that again. Living and surviving in that volcano, in that acidic, hot-ass water. And now they loose. It's like every day we get another movie to play with. Now, what kind of movie is this? Sharknado? So 2024, basically what you're saying is, first, the drones, then it's too many dens to go through. So we have mutant sharks swimming around in these waters. What's next? It's another reason why I say I'm never going on no more cruises. I done went on all the cruises I'm gonna go on. I'm not swimming in no nothing. I ain't going to no beaches. I'm not doing none of that. Because for this shit to be going on, it's something crazy. My question to scientists and the people who know about this, how were these sharks surviving in those type of conditions? We wouldn't be able to survive there. Let me ask you a question. Are the sharks the ill? I ain't gonna say it. I'm out.
What kind of fuckery is this? You may.
That does look kind of crazy. I ain't never seen a CT scan open.
Some of those drone sightings are in fact drones.
The reported drone sightings
They cracked the
began
case.
a week before
Yo, talk about slow. Did it like go in the water? What was that?
And the beautifully carved
portal.
I want to go to Peru.
Hewn, as I've said probably too many times, from the living rock. The craftsmanship is exceptional. Aside from the graffiti, beautiful 90-degree angles. And inside too, here too. Hate to leave here for some reason. It feels really comfortable.
I'll do a full circle of this whole pyramid. Why the heck did they leave the nubs? Look at that.
That's weird.
Most of the pyramid is still under dirt.
I ain't gonna lie. I think there's probably like a bunch of pyramids in America just like this, right? We might think it's a mountain. There's probably trees on it. Might just think it's a hill somewhere. But it's really a pyramid. They just don't I can't even say the word. They just don't excavate it.
Like, how many thousands of years did it take for all that dirt to build up on a pyramid?
Probably not even that long.
There's trees growing off the side of it.
A couple 100 years, maybe.
This is steep as hell.
Me and my mom, we always talk about deep occult knowledge, history that has been suppressed, history that has not been shared. Remember I told you that my mom knows what's up? She knows the dealio. She remembers. Anyway, so she was saying, my mom was saying about Atlantis. Because, how did it start the conversation?
Atlantis,
No, but before that, how did it start? ¿No te acuerdas que te dije?
We're talking about all our stuff.
Que teníamos el poder, la Atlántida era una era, la era de oro.
Sí. She's saying that Atlantis was a era of the golden age. But the reason why she said that, and I was like, wait, Mom, wait, I need to put you on live video, was because we were talking about how this world got enslaved and how it became distorted and why there's so much sexualization and distorted parasitic energy everywhere you go. So then she starts talking about Atlantis, and that Atlantis, no, she said things started to change, que cosas empezaron a cambiar porque
fuimos invadidos
por la luna.
Cuando vino la luna es cuando vinieron otros personajes que vinieron a invadir el Atlántida.
So there was beings that came to invade Atlantis, and they brought a moon. Wow.
Acabaron con nos hicieron creer que nuestro ser, o sea, nosotros cuando en la Atlántida éramos personas sabias, personas que sabíamos nuestro poder, por eso se llama la era de oro, porque ahí estaba el poder.
So she's saying
el ser se conocía sabía sus poderes, pues.
Okay, so in Atlantis, everyone knew their power, their inner power. They were activated within their abilities and their power, and they knew each other through those powers.
Cuando se invadió Atlántida, empezaron a programarnos para quitarnos ese poder.
So they invaded Atlantis and they started to program people's consciousness and take away the power of themselves, of what they had already been for a very long time. Pero cómo esos extraterrestres se metieron adentro, cómo invadieron.
Pues la luna, pues supuestamente la luna es una nave.
The moon.
Una nave donde está, porque yo he tenido ciertos.
She says she's experienced visions.
Visiones. Y la luna es una grande nave madriza, ¿cómo se nodriza?
It's a spaceship. A moon?
Sí, porque antes de la Atlántida no estaba la luna.
So Atlantis didn't have a moon before. We didn't have a moon, and this is why there was a fall. Atlantis fell because they brought a moon. What did I tell you guys about the moon?
Yo, this correlates with a lot of stories, and that's probably how the floods happened. Think about it.
Well, my mom was going to explain it to you more profoundly than I would ever do it because she knows more about it. She's lived in Atlantis before. And she was there. I was there too, but I don't remember as much as my mom does.
Sí, fuimos invadidos y empezaron a controlarnos.
Start to control us.
Quitarnos los poderes.
Take away our powers.
Con el miedo. Hay tres cosas con los que
Fear.
Los poderes que tenemos el ser humano. Que estamos muy programados y muy arriesgados. El miedo, la culpa.
Okay, so this is how they started to project from the moon. Fear, guilt.
La culpa es una de las cosas peligrosísimas que si no
Guilt is the most lower dense frequency, lowest frequency that you can have within your being. And a lot of people have guilt because they allow themselves to fall.
Nos quitan el poder de nuestros grandes poderes de crear. Pero estábamos hablando de que por qué existen tantas cosas negativas el día de hoy, porque nos han enseñado a tener miedo. El miedo no puede crear más que más miedo.
She says that the reason why they've gotten away with so much is because there's so much instilled fear in our consciousness, and fear creates lower realities.
No tenemos el conocimiento de enseñar a nuestros hijos a ser creativos y dejarlos en paz, que crían sus cosas en paz. Siempre lo estamos regañando, metiéndoles miedo, metiéndoles películas de miedo, metiéndoles cosas de miedo. Entonces, este es el programa que nos quieren meter para que desconozcamos nuestros grandes poderes que tenemos de crear cosas posibles. Nosotros tenemos el poder de crear.
She says that we have power to create realities, and that so these are passed on programming that we pass on to our children, and we start to mold our children according to that program that you already have within you, and we start to tell children to not think for themselves, to not create their own unique expression of their own reality, what they envision, and to tap into that imagination.
Yo, what y'all think about that, man? I mean, it's got me thinking, right? I've always thought like yin and yang were like the sun and the moon chasing each other, but if the moon was never here, maybe it's the sun and the dark sun, because they do say that we're in a binary star system. Man, that story is pretty interesting, man. I gotta do some more research. But yeah, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.